I mean, how many times have you had this conversation with a friend, a loved one, heck, even your significant other, where it's just same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. Meanwhile, you're scrolling through your social media, through your YouTube, and through your Facebook and Instagram, and you're seeing that people are living extraordinary lives, and they are having extraordinary experiences, and doing things that years ago they only dreamed of, only to now be fulfilling those dreams of adventure, excitement, new projects, new selves, transformation, ascension. And for you, it's just same shit, different day. Same shit, different day is worse than I'm having a shitty day. Because at least there's something to sink your teeth into. As humans, we inherently want problems to solve. We need them to ascend. And it gets to this point, though, where we have this problem. It's like, well, I'm not an adult yet. I don't make enough money to do all the things I want to do. I still live with my parents, or I'm trying to get a job, and all this stuff. We have these problems, and eventually we solve them. And problem solved. Got a job. You've got that boyfriend that you wanted, or that girlfriend that you wanted. You have a group of friends. But one day turns into the same day, 1 week turns into the same week, 1 month turns into the same month, and soon a few years have gone by, and you're just like, okay, is this what I'm doing? What's next? And you wonder why am I not satisfied? Well, remember when you were younger and candy was absolutely delicious? I remember there was this, what was it? It was just literally sugar goo in a tube that was clear, and it was in a toothpaste tube, and literally you're just squeezing this sugar goo in your mouth. And when I was a kid, oh man, that stuff was so good. The blue one, the watermelon one, amazing. I remember Brussels sprouts. When you're 8, Brussels sprouts, disgusting. And somehow, as you get older, your taste buds start to change, and the things that you used to like no longer satisfy you. If I eat that candy goo shit now, it's disgusting. And Brussels sprouts, it's the first thing I look for on a menu. A good charred Brussels sprout with some onions, and sometimes my mom makes this slaw with Brussels sprouts with raisins in it and Greek yogurt. Oh my God. But if I were to be fed that candy goo, I wouldn't be happy. And we think that we're done with growing up. We turn from a kid into a teenager, and then we turn into a teenager into a young adult, and then we become an adult, and we've arrived, and we make 6 figures, and we are well respected in our communities, and we give back, and we seem to have it all. And then suddenly, shit, this candy goo doesn't do it for me anymore. But you were told that this was it. And so if you're not happy, shut your mouth and be appreciative. Well, that only causes us to secretly struggle. And when we secretly struggle, that's when we binge. We binge on TV. We binge on drinking. We binge on distractions, going out on YouTube, on porn. We binge on consumerism, on buying new shit. We binge on surface level relationships with each other. We binge on social media. We binge on sleep. We binge on all these tiny little pleasures in order to just keep us from complaining. Because when we complain that although I'm successful, I'm still not happy, the rest of the world says, shut up. There are people that have it worse than you. Shut your mouth. But we all have the right to struggle. Even if you're not starving in Africa, which is a terrible, terrible struggle. Every level has a new devil, and we all have the right to struggle. And you have the right to speak up when you struggle. But the problem is, in our society, especially a privileged American middle-class society, we are told that we're not allowed to struggle. Now, I'm not saying that you should be ungrateful. You should certainly be grateful. If you're able to watch this video, you are in the upper echelon of human beings in privilege. You're in the top 1% of the world. So be so grateful for what you've been given, but never be satisfied with where you're at. So how do you gracefully struggle and figure out exactly what's going on and what to do next and how to grow from this new area, this area where another promotion isn't really going to satisfy you. Dating someone that's more accomplished or more beautiful isn't really going to do it for you. Going out and becoming more more of a socialite isn't really going to do it for you. So what is it? How do we find that out? And once we find that out, how do we move forward towards that without giving up everything else? Because there are sometimes, and we've seen it with so many spiritual people, where it's like they realize that consumerism and social accolades aren't the solution to happiness. So then they renounce all of that and they become a minimalist, and they kind of renounce success and money and fame and all of that. You don't have to give everything up in order to level up. And this is the thing that I've been trying to show everyone, that you don't have to struggle secretly anymore. And you don't have to settle for all these little pleasure bombs that are slowly killing you and merely just distracting you from your complaints and from the boring, mundane, day-to-day life that has become your routine. And the thing is, we feel a little guilty because we worked so hard to get this stable, but now that I'm this stable, now I'm not happy. I must be some ungrateful prick. I better just shut my mouth and just accept that I'm privileged. But soon that eats away at your soul, and you're just like, I want something else. It's not something more that you want, it's something else that you want. And that is the next level. When you've already reached the top 1% of the 1%. And if you're making 6 figures in the United States, you are the top 1% of the 1% of the world. So to want more does make you kind of a selfish dick. So I'm going to say that. But that's not the problem. We want something different. We don't want something more. We want something deeper. We want something that has meaning, that has impact, that transcends our own existence. That's something that we can do that's bigger than us. Some people say, take a hiatus, travel abroad. Some people say, give up your life's work and give it to charity, or give it to religion, or give it to selflessness. Some people do this complete rehaul of their beingness and seek enlightenment and transformation. Look, what is the answer? The answer is whatever you want it to be. How do you find that answer? It's by learning a unique language modality called precise language that allows you to speak up, speak clear, and speak precisely to see exactly to be able to have in a tangible way every little nuance of the things that you feel and the things that you want, and to be able to examine it and choose what to do with it. Choose to release that frustration, or choose to say, no, I see what I want, and then actually be able to have an action steps, like legit action steps, to be able to do that and finally start finding satisfaction. So if this is something that you're interested in learning, and this scenario sounds like you, and you can relate to at least one of the examples that I've given, then I want to invite you to come join me and have a conversation with me in my next webinar. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and I'm basically going to be talking about the modern day existential crisis that happens to us when we have achieved success but no longer feel fulfilled, and feel and we try to succeed more in the areas that we've already succeeded in. We're not finding happiness, and we try to distract ourselves but we don't find fulfillment, and we kind of feel like we should we seem like we're the type of people that have it all and know it all, but there's a side of you that feels like you don't know what's what. And trust me, I have been there. I have gone through a series of existential crises in my life, and I've dedicated my life to asking the intelligent questions that help you become a creative and proficient and precise problem solver simply by being able to gain access to your own wisdom by using language in a way that no longer sabotages you and keeps you confused and tells you to shut your mouth, and actually use language in a constructive way that allows you to gracefully address the confusions and the hiccups that we have, and to basically turn on the light and be able to see truly who we are, and then be able to make an action plan to become that next person, to have that next experience, to step into that next realm of fulfillment, whatever that is for you. We're going to help identify that, and I'm going to show you certain strategies with your language on how to be able to get clarity and finally feel fulfilled again, without having to give up everything and become a nun or something like that. So if this is something that you're interested in learning, I would love to have this conversation with you, with a group of you. So go to the link below and register for the webinar. There's a webinar coming soon, and be sure to put it on your calendar and come with your questions. And when you sign up for this webinar, I'm also going to give you an opportunity to fill out a personal assessment, a personal inventory assessment, to where you can actually go into every area of your life in your mind and turn on the light and kind of take inventory of where you're at, how you feel about it, and it will really get you in. It'll really put some perspective to your life. So when we do have this conversation, you get way more out of that. I'm going to leave that in the description below as well, so you can take that personal inventory assessment to start giving yourself clarity. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with you guys. If you like this video and you found it useful and you can relate to it, be sure to smash that like button. And if you want to continue to watch videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the Invincible Academy channel, and be sure that you hit the bell for notifications so you can be kept up to date for when I release new videos.